Hi everybody, I'm Deacon Dave.
And I'm Diamond Debbie.
I'm layperson Lisa.
Welcome to the Deacon
Deacon
Dave
Dave
and
and
Layperson
Layperson
Lisa
Lisa
show,
show.
along with our special guest Diamond Debbie. We are just outside of the upper room right now, where there must have been 150 people. More?
A lot of people.
A lot of
Took
people
up the
in
whole
there?
space almost.
Yeah, but this is where Jesus, the night before he was betrayed, or the night he was
That
betrayed.
he was.
Right. He
Had
sat-
the Last Supper.
Right, so he sat with the apostles, he washed their feet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is also the place where, and he instituted the Eucharist and the priesthood. And this is also where we had Pentecost at,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And it's also where he passed through the walls when the disciples were full of fear after his resurrection. So there's a lot of things that happened in this particular location. What struck you, Lisa? And then I'll come to you next, Debbie, so I don't surprise you.
Well, I was just kind of, I guess, like feeling Jesus' sadness because he knew what was going to happen that day. And just how he humbled himself and washed the apostles' feet. And how he knew, like, one of his, like, person in the inner circle was going to betray him. So I just, it's just, that's what I was feeling.
And he went through it and did it anyway, right? What about you, Debbie? Now that Lisa has you crying. Just to keep it light.
I was just reflecting on when our tour guide Maher pointed out how Jesus himself is a sacrificial lamb, and the lamb there's a picture of the lamb on the ceiling, and it's just really makes you think how we need to be thankful, and we need to do our best to follow in Jesus' footsteps.
All right, so I'm going to change the tone of the podcast here because the ladies are having an emotional moment. So I'm going to talk about Jesus passing through the walls, right? When they were so fearful of what had gone on after Jesus was crucified, died and buried, but he's been resurrected, and they're still up here scared,
Yeah.
right? And so Jesus passes through and he says, "Peace be with you," right? And so the Lord wants us to have that same peace. There's so much fear and anxiety that we might have in our spiritual lives, but we have a hope that is eternal. That is why the Lord instituted, that's why he died for us, and then he gave us, I would like to call it almost like a maintenance program, right, to sustain us until he comes again, and the Eucharist. So there's also, while there's great sadness, there's also great joy, right, in the things that took place here. And then there's Thomas, right, who was doubting Thomas, who had to see it for himself, the wounds of Christ. And so Jesus came again when Thomas was present and allowed him to touch the wounds of Jesus. And so we're all going to get tattoos. And I know Debbie and I are getting a Jerusalem cross. I don't think you are, Lisa. And the 5 crosses of the Jerusalem cross represents the 5 wounds of Christ. Yeah, so that's actually happening tomorrow, ladies. Can you believe it? So we're going to have a podcast tomorrow from the Razuk Tattoo place in the Old City. Any other thoughts from
Well,
y'all?
I also like when Maher was talking about Pentecost.
Oh,
and
I was just gonna say
praying,
that.
like, "Come Holy Spirit, come Holy Spirit."
Right. And the Holy Spirit, don't you know you are a temple of the Holy Spirit, Lisa and Debbie?
Yes, and I was going to say the same thing, that in the upper room where we are standing right now, or on the outside of it, is where Pentecost also happened,
Yeah, which is
and the
which is
fire of the Holy Spirit.
right, tongues of fire, as a matter of fact.
And it's
So-
kind of cool because we had international groups in there.
Yes, so Maher actually stopped and said, listen to all the different
Yeah.
languages
Yes,
that are
yes.
happening right now. That was a benefit of the crowds. So yeah, there's a lot that took place at this place, which we are at today. What are you pulling me in for?
Oh, I was just pulling you in because your face
Okay,
isn't
that's
showing.
okay. People don't want to see me. They only want to see the next podcast, which will be the Layperson Lisa and Diamond Debbie show. I will no longer be needed. So
No,
anyway,
no. We
I
always
am
need to.
Deacon Dave here.
Oh, well, there's a
Yes.
pelican image in there too.
Yes, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, how there's
yeah.
a mom pelican and 2 baby pelicans, and the baby pelicans are eating the flesh of the mom, so it represents Jesus. as because he, we consume his flesh when we consume the Eucharist or receive the Eucharist.
Yeah, I love that. I love that symbolism that he shared with
Yeah,
us.
and we saw the pelicans up close in Africa, and we saw that little nail, like that sharp thing at the end of their
Right.
Oh,
beak
right,
that they
right.
probably used.
To kill themselves.
No,
No.
to eat the flesh of the
Oh,
mom.
plus just when the mom naturally dies, I guess.
Yes,
Is that how that
when
works?
she
Oh, I think
dies.
no. I think the mom sacrifices herself for the.
Yeah, I wonder how they
Yeah.
sacrifice. How they kill themselves, I wonder.
I don't think that's important.
Just
They
try to-
sacrifice just like Jesus
They sacrifice
sacrificed.
themselves for those that they love, just like Jesus sacrificed himself for us.
Very good. Well, we have to get back to the bus. I'm Deacon Dave.
Emily personally.
And I'm Diamond Debbie.
See you next time.
Bye. Oh, sorry, I went out of order.